So back in December 2018, Ryan and I got together and started talking about creating a database for interverbal webbing. I had just gotten back from the Carbone Clinic where I had gone with a client for a consultation, and this kiddo was doing great with interverbal webbing and was showing a lot of progress. But of course, when there was an error or a no response, it would take the therapist quite a bit of time to search through the box of cards to find the correct prompt, the correct image. I really wanted to see that intertrial time go down. I really wanted to see a more instantaneous prompt that we could just have that image right there. We probably see, less behaviors during that intertrial time, and we'd see, most likely, we're going to see better responses. And I kept thinking, if we just had this on a tablet, if we just had some means of pulling up the image quickly, or even having the image right there while the conversation was going, boy, that would be a game changer. And so Ryan and I got to work on building the database. We started off with about 400 common items and their associated functions, features, and classes that were previously in use, and altered them a little bit, made them a little more modernized, took out some items that weren't necessary, added some that we felt were more applicable, and began the task of creating the functions and features, and of course assigning items to classes. I wanted to make sure that we had multiple exemplars. That was very important to me. I've been in the business a long time, and I've seen the same images over and over. Just around the corner from my neighborhood is an advertisement for a pool that uses the same stock photo that's in the language builder cards. These images are just tired. So I wanted to give a fresh face to what our kids were seeing. Novel images, candid images, not just these stock photos that we see all too often. And I wanted to make sure we had many. So I was downloading 5 examples of every image, sometimes more, and just to make sure that we had some great photos. And I think we have really, really good photos. So while we were still working on the verbal matrix, I wanted to make sure that we had an additional tool. After all, the company was abatools, not ABA tool. So we started work on receptive identification. I was really pleased that Ryan was able to come up with both large field sizes that would still display well on a 7 or 8 inch tablet, and messy fields. That was a big thing, to be able to have images displayed in rows and columns neatly, as well as slightly off center. And I think both of these were accomplished very well. And then Ryan surprised me and showed me that we were able to do multiple exemplars, which was really cool. Because then we were able to do things like negation, and have 4 cats and a chair and say which one is not a cat, or show me all of the airplanes or whatnot. And that was just awesome, to be able to do negation and to be able to find all of the targets. That was just huge for me. We have plans to create tools for matching, sorting, and sequencing, as well as expand the verbal matrix. We'd like to include holidays. We have placeholders for family members. We'd really like to have custom images, so your kiddo's family, those are the pictures he sees, and nobody else sees those pictures. That we would be able to have more specific topics Some kids are into space, some kids are into dinosaurs, some kids are into Thomas the Tank Engine. We'd love to be able to expand those topics and many others to include very, very focused image sets. There are other goals that we want to accomplish, such as foreign languages. There are kids that could benefit from ABA tools all across the globe, and we'd really like to be able to offer this in Spanish and Portuguese and French, Italian, really any language where ABA is being done. We want to be able to offer ABA tools.